Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Ansel. I'm Assistant Medical Chief for Vascular Services at Ohio Health in Columbus, Ohio. This production is based on my anecdotal experience and is independent of Ohio Health. As you know, COVID-19 is leading to healthcare workers being at extreme risk for exposure to the virus, oftentimes because of the lack of the proper PPE equipment. Though we've not felt that brunt in Ohio yet, it has hit Washington and the West Coast as well as New York City dramatically like it did in Europe. Many of the problems are the lack of personal protection devices that we're not having available to us because of the vast need during this crisis. Trying to answer that need as we run out of the N95 masks until a massive production can occur, I've developed a methodology to increase the efficiency of the paper masks that we do have right now. The drawback of paper masks, as you know, this type that you put over your ears and through your nose, is that you'll have gaps around that, and air comes through the least resistance, so all the volume of air will actually come unfiltered. To try to make that not occur, especially during our procedures where there's blood spatter, we developed a methodology to use full-face snorkels, which give you a very water and airtight seal on your face, and to have the air intake behind or above you with a paper mask filtering the potential droplets from the patient. Though I still recommend the N95 if available, this should be an improvement for personal air purification compared to the regular old mask. So first we want to make sure our mask is airtight. We'll put that on. Make sure your hair is out from underneath. Cover the exhalation port and inhale. I couldn't hear any air, and as you can see, the mask sucked in, which means I had an airtight response to that. Now I know I've got a really good fit to my mask, airtight, and now I want to make sure that my intake is filtered as much as possible when the N95s are not available. What we've done is utilize the plain paper masks that do filter reasonably well, but not as good as an N95, and utilize them to cover the air intake of the snorkel device. So here's my snorkel. I've pre-cut a piece of material to fit around the intake, which is here. The important aspect of this is to make sure that we seal with tape or some type of substance all the potential air areas that would come around the mask, and so all the edges have to be taped. I've got some pre-cut tape. Again, there's no secret to this. If you wrapped a Christmas present, you can do that. We're going to go ahead and just start working at the top, and then we'll work our way around to the bottom. Again, this has to be a solid tape, not an air punctured tape. Doesn't take very long. How often should you change it? Well, certainly if there's much resistance to flow because you're getting dirt or debris or other type of foreign material into the mask, you can change it. Otherwise, we would certainly recognize that we have no data, but we would recommend at least every day. If there's contamination on the mask itself, we certainly want to do that more frequently. But again, these aren't the N95s, which are so valuable and not being able to be obtained right now. So I've got full exclusion of all the edges of the mask. I'm going to go ahead and put my snorkel back on my mask. These all have a rubber gasket, so they're air and water tight, as we've said. Now we can put that on our face. Now you can see that these masks are made much better these days. They're much more better fits. They're solid seals. This is a way to get a durable air purification system. You should clean your hands before donning the mask. After usage, you certainly would want to clean the mask with a antiseptic wipe, water with chlorine in it, whatever the hospital, if you're going to use it there, their policy would be. Certainly the mask here is durable, and you can potentially use that for a full day, depending on how much dirt, because you're away from the patient contamination. The chin mask protects the patient from your exhalation. We think that this is a good alternative when N95s may not be available to us as the physician population. Certainly we're all worried about the exposure that we're having when we run out of these protective devices, and we think this may be an alternative when those devices aren't available, and certainly seals better than a paper mask. Thank you for your attention. Godspeed.